Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Silver and Steel, a brand new campaign DM'd by yours truly, that bronze girl, right here on D&D Beyond. Today we have a very special event happening. Every single time myself or one of our cast members rolls a natural 20, we will be giving out a legendary bundle for D&D Beyond in the chat. So without further ado, should we go around and introduce ourselves real quick? Let's go ahead and start with you, B. Dave.
I just stepped into a clock and I don't know what's going on right now. B. Dave Walter is playing freely and playing games anywhere people will let me. Yep.
Accurate.
Oh, hi. I just stepped out of the ground. I'm happy to be here. I'm Lauren. I'm going to be playing Callie, your Warforged rogue, and I'm usually the community manager for D&D Beyond.
Meagan.
Yes, hello. My name is Sofieus. I am the wife of Avren. I am a alchemist artificer, and I am also a experimental scientist of the culinary arts. I also make elixirs. Sometimes I don't know what they do.
We're 2 minutes in and I would die or kill for Sofieus. I would just like to put that out there.
Oh.
Everything I'm going to do after that is garbage. I am playing Avren. I am a former trickster god, and now I have nothing. And that's it. I'm married to Sofieus, and I do my best to keep all of my bullshit away from her. So that's what I do. And I'm also Todd Kenreck, the creative manager at D&D Beyond. Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited to roll dice with these goobers. So without further ado, hit the trailer. It's a bright and sunny day. We find ourselves sort of with a very sun-kissed, freckled, short, about in her teenage years dwarf. She's sitting on a horse cart with a big straw hat on, and she has matching straw hats on the 2 cloven-hoofed beasts that are pulling her cart through golden fields as far as the eye can see. And as we sit next to her in the driver's seat of the cart, we notice that she comes upon something in her path that she doesn't quite know what to do with. She pulls over to the side of the dirt road, calms both of her animals because they start to get a little angsty and weird, and hails what she can only describe as some sort of metal and wood monstrosity. She comes upon a large mechanical creature picking, I don't know, what would you say, Lauren, that this creature is doing?
Well, I'm probably currently picking dirt out of bits and parts of me because I just crawled my way out of a hole nearby that was probably a little too small. So I'm working on getting all the bits of dirt and cleaning stuff off. Oh, hi. It's nice to meet you. I didn't think I was going to meet anybody on the road already. This is kind of nice. Hi.
Her brown eyes go as large as they can, and she pokes you with her stick.
Hey, no, don't do that. Hey, I'm going to push her stick away.
I never seen the likes of you around here.
Well, I've never seen the likes of you either. But I've never been around here, so I guess that makes sense. My name is Callie. I would like to meet you officially, if you're not going to poke me with another stick.
Oh, I meant no harm. And she lifts up her skirts and kind of starts circling around you, looking down and up from your feet all the way up to your shins.
I will not let her get behind me. So as she tries to circle, I will just continue to circle warily. No. Is that really necessary?
Are you one of Avren's beasts, yeah?
I am neither an Avren nor a beast, no.
Oh, no harm or foul meant.
I'm not a foul, but I can do harm, for sure.
Well, there's no need for all that. Where have you come from?
Oh, there was a hole over there, deep in there. I was just worming my way up.
You came from underground?
Yeah, I was I was there for a while. Came up here looking for parts and stuff, and information.
Well, you seem nice enough. If you're lost, I can take you to our town.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Thank you very much. Get a ride with your beast? You want me to just walk along?
She comes over to her animals and tries to like calm them down. Hey, Bessie. And she like calms her down. She goes, I think it'll be fine. Hop in the back, eh?
Okay. And I will hop, skip, and jump onto the back of the cart in a very dexterous movement. She moves very fast.
She takes off her straw hat and puts it on your head. And you notice she has like long silver, like sort of braids that cascade down over her shoulders. And she says, so you don't scare folk?
Oh, okay. The hat's really all that's necessary. Usually I'm much scarier even when I'm not wearing anything. But if you think the hat will help, then sure.
It makes you look cute, eh? And she like gets up
Aw.
back in the little riding spot. And she asks if you want to sit next to her.
Absolutely. And I will sit next to her.
Okay. She helps
I mean,
you
I
up.
look cute, so why not?
I'll take you to the council. I think Avren might know what matter of creature you are. Maybe we can take you back to where you come from.
Well, no, I came up here on purpose, and I know what manner of creature I am. I'm here on my own mission, but thank you. I mean, I'm happy to meet anybody that you'd like to, take me to if that's necessary. But I know what I am. I mean, I'm a me.
Well, I've got to make one stop on the way. You see, something fell from the sky over in the neighbor's radish patch. And apparently, he's a wee feisty lad. So he's causing up trouble. So I've been sent to go check on him, bring him over to the council, see what's to be done with him.
Okay, well, I'm happy to help. I mean, if he's going to be trouble, and Callie will open up her hand, and a shimmering blue knife will just appear in her hand. And she'll say, I can help with that, too.
Her eyes go wide. Well, I don't think we're trying to kill him. Maybe just restrain.
Well, I really only have two options, and only the one is the kill, and the other is to just kind of sit back and talk. So we'll see what happens. And the knife disappears from her hands.
Hopefully it won't come to that. And she shakes her hand. I'm Millie, by the way.
Oh, nice to meet you. Callie Zaffrab.
Callie what?
Zaffrab. It's a family name. This
I
is
don't
Nerf
know that
Neblin. They
name.
were the ones that gave it to me.
She smiles. I'll try to remember it, but I can definitely remember Callie.
Oh, that's half the battle right there.
And she gives the two cloven hoofed beasts a quick little. She doesn't even really like whip them, but just a nice little like a nudge, I should say. And the cart takes off. And she heads down a few miles and stops at a very small farmstead where we come upon a halfling who is arguing with the farmer tending to the crops.
Okay, just tell me, which way is Hooperduke, okay? If you just point me, I will go, I will be out of your hair and off your land, okay?
I don't know where Hooperduke is, says the tall half-orc.
Everywhere is terrible. Okay, all right, so just what's the nearest big city then? I'll go there. I'll start looking there.
Port Argent.
That's not near Rexentrum, is it? Because things are a little in Rexentrum.
I don't think it is near there, no.
Okay, all right. No, you've been great.
But what about my radishes? You've landed in them. They're uprooted. They're everywhere.
I think you probably can get a couple extra coin for them now, friend. Like they've been blessed by a falling hero. That's got to be good for a potion or something now, I think. No? Yes? Yeah.
Notice he kind of goes for it.
Yeah, no. It's which way is this port what now?
Argent.
Port Argent. That way, this way.
He hails over to Millie. You see Millie, you see the cart kind of pull up and Millie hops down. Aye, I've come to retrieve you.
Oh, word travels fast in these parts, huh? Are you some sort of wizard? Did you message her to have the
I sent a bird.
Oh, because I'm trying to get word to some friends of mine. So I mean, if you could do the what's the okay.
I can send a bird.
Millie, could you direct me towards Huberduke?
Huber what?
I know it sounds made up, but they were very insistent. That's what the place was called. You might know it as Hoobastank. No?
I didn't know if that place even exists.
Ruxentrum. It's a terrible place. Don't go there, but at least do you know like which way it might be?
Did you fall on your head?
Yes. But that happens a lot. It's fine. Last time
okay. I know somebody who can take a look at you.
Well, last time I fell out of the sky, I was hanging from a sign and I was upside down and I was on fire. So having landed in these wonderful, lovely radishes was actually an overall improvement than what happened to me before. So things are moving in the right direction, I think.
If you say so. I can take you to the city, though.
Yeah, sure. You got somebody that can...
There's people who want to take a look at you.
Well, I mean, who doesn't want to take a look at me, you know? Yeah.
Well, Jeffrey here basically called our town's versions of the cops on you.
Millie, are you the police, the constabulatory in this area? Is that what's going on?
When need arises, yeah.
When she says she's the police, I do sort of take a step back, and I'm like,
Oh, don't worry. I'm not putting you in jail or nothing. Just having you meet some folk who are interested in where you came from.
Well, all right. I'm from a little bit everywhere, to tell you the truth, but yeah, okay. Hey, also, I don't know if you heard, these radishes are magical. Get them while you can.
I might. And she goes to the back of the cart, and you notice her unloading like bales of hay. And Jeffrey, the tall half-orc, comes over, and he says, I'll ride back to town with you. Need to run errands. And he like helps her sort of like undo, like sort of put away the bales of hay by the front of the farmstead.
Super random question, Jeffrey. Super random question. Do you by chance have metal bones?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that for me?
No, but you can talk? I thought you were like a carving or something. Like, but,
No, just because I stay really still. It's just I'm paying attention. That's all. And isn't it obvious? I mean,
how are you talking when you don't have lips?
Well, she's not a beast. She's a person, you know.
I mean, she doesn't look like any person I know, but hi, hey, who am I to judge? And I show you my mechanical hand. I'm like, you've been through some things. If like, you've been all 100% repurposed. Wow.
well, I mean, my dad did the best that he could, but there's not much that can go on in the underground, in the Underdark. So, you know, I think I do pretty well for myself. Thank you very much.
Underdark.
You're from the Underdark?
Yes.
I've never heard of such a place.
Well, you go down and you keep going down.
Okay, all right. We're near the
Why would
Underdark.
you ever want to go down?
Well, I mean, she came up,
well,
see? So she didn't want to be down either.
There's some pretty nice people down there, and
There's
some pretty.
people down there.
They are not nice people.
Hey, my dad is actually a very nice person, I would have you know, and I would not have you talking ill of someone that you don't even know. I mean, you fell out of the sky.
And well, yeah, so that means I came from on high, you're from down below. I mean, like the symbolism can be a little tricky, but I think it should be pretty clear here. Yeah, but hey, but I just met you and I don't feel any like weird vibes off of you. So yeah, great. We're great. Everything's good.
So
Hey,
you're
clockwork
saying she's not a
solidarity.
devil?
No, and I would know if she were a devil. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's useful, eh?
True. Yeah. Oh, I'm Freely, by the way, and I do extend my hand to Millie.
She takes it and shakes it. I'm
Mhm.
Millie.
Very nice to meet you, ma'am. I just, hey, I have a lot of respect for law enforcement. You know, never would I do anything to like trick the constabulary, as it were.
Well, that's good, seeing as how I'm the part-time law around here. So maybe you just have to be worried about me part of the time.
Oh,
She laughs.
Right, okay, so do dirt after 6. I get it. Okay, great. Sure. And you are next in the hand to Callie.
Callie Zaffrab, it is nice to meet you, strange man who's fallen out of the sky. And I will take his hand.
It is nice to meet you, repurposed person that came out of the ground.
I was not. Repurposed.
Oh yeah. No. I met a construct that was like that. His name was Rand, but he was kind of made like out of like garbage bits, and he was all like, so I didn't expect you to be so contiguous. Your father's a genius. Excellent craftsmanship.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What I do know is that we got to get back to town.
Lead on.
I do look at the animals. Are they any sort of creature that I've seen before?
They're very large bulls. And they have almost like ram horns that come under, and they're very woolly.
Magnificent beasts. What are their names?
This one's Bessie,
Nice to meet you, Bessie.
and this one's Bessie too. I wasn't feeling very creative that day, you know.
But it's like double your money. Yeah. Jesse. Jesse? Was that your name? Jesse?
Millie,
No, him, the orc. Jesse.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, you. Sorry, I've had a hard day, man. You would not believe the week I've had. Jeffrey, could I possibly trouble you for a radish for my friends here, Bessie, and additionally Bessie?
He nods and hands you a couple.
I actually
They'll charge, but later.
Very nice.
I actually mage hand them, so the radishes float up to the creatures.
They're very impressed. Jeffrey's mouth kind of like hangs a little bit open for a minute before he says, "Oh, so you've got some tricks."
Yeah, if you think that was cool, watch this.
And nothing happens.
What the- That should have worked.
I'm sorry, are you constipated?
Would you even have a concept of what that meant if you are, in fact, innately a construct? And it's no, it's apparently no. I'm apparently just tired. Like, I feel warm. Would you mind terribly if I rode in the cart? By the way,
Hey, don't worry about it. Happens to men all the time, you know.
I'm just tired. Okay, I'm just tired. It's been a long week, and I go and I get in the cart.
Chuckles to herself. I can be funny too. And she gets, back in the riding seat.
You see, he very much in the back is like concentrates for a second and nothing, like repeatedly, like.
Sitting in the back with you is Jeffrey, who has now removed the bales of hay, and he says, "Are you sick?
Just my powers aren't working right.
Powers? Maybe you need to rest. You did fall from very high."
I stand and I look for like a rock or something, and I eldritch blast it like out of my eyes. Like, well, still got the fundamentals. Okay, all right. Just like have a seat.
That might be good for digging holes. If you dig holes, you can plant more radishes.
And I point at Callie and I'm like, hey, you're probably an expert on holes too. Like maybe we can like help this guy, like
Increase radish productivity.
Well, I'm willing to help, but that's not quite why I'm here. I don't really do much in the way of farming. I can build stuff that would help.
Well, all right, on to the town. I'm just gonna, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna take him up on his advice and just sort of like rest my eyes for a minute. This is a weird day.
Pushes your head down onto his lap and pats it gently.
That's escalated quickly. Okay.
I will
Very
take off
gentle about it.
I'll take off the straw hat that I was given and hand it on over to Freeling and say, "Here you go if you want to grab some sleep. It'll make you cute."
No, I really don't need to.
That was impressively fast.
Half orc's gentle pats on your whoa, I dropped all my dice on your shoulder and back.
it starts hailing immediately.
It was a bright sunny day, and now nope.
Now it isn't.
The cart lurches forward a little bit slower this time because it's a little bit heavier. Freely doesn't weigh that much, but the half orc weighs quite a bit more than the hay bales did. And slowly you lurch towards a small speck on the horizon. As time passes, now the sun is overhead. It's getting hotter. And right when it gets to the point that you think maybe it'd be a little bit too hot or you're going to start sweating, you see it. Surrounded by what can only be described as large bones that have been fashioned into a makeshift sort of wall, you come across this loud, clanging port city. You can smell, first thing that hits you is the smell of the ocean. You smell fish, you smell salt water, You smell all the wonderful smells that come from being near the ocean. It doesn't smell that great, if I'm being honest. And as you creak forwards, the two guards kind of give Millie a little salute, and she brings you in to the bustling, muddy, somewhat dirty port city of Argent. It is small. There's not a lot of large buildings here. The people's residences are very tiny. You get a lot of looks as you go past. And
It's all
Millie,
right. I'm giving a lot of looks because a lot of this I've only ever read about. So I'm doing a lot of just
yeah,
observing.
the staring is mutual. A lot of people look. Some children point.
I point back.
This only scares them / excites them. They're not sure what's supposed to happen when you point back.
I'm happy with both results, and I know which children are scared and which are excited when I point.
And Millie, very self-importantly, like she's found some grand discovery with her chin up, sort of directs the cart to the largest building in town. It's sort of lifted up a little bit on like this sort of platform. It's circular and it's made out of wood with a thatch roof. She stops the cart outside and she says, "All right, this is your stop."
Is there anything in specific that we're supposed to do with this location?
Well, you'll want to see the council.
Why?
Well, he's supposed to, since he ruined someone's radish patch. And maybe it might be wise for you to check in.
It can't hurt to learn some more.
Well, the reason I brought you here is one of the council members, one of our newer council members, that is, tends to know a little bit about mechanicals. So I thought maybe he might have some feedback for you. But seeing as how you already know what you are, I don't know if he's of any interest to you.
Oh, everything up here is of interest to me. I'm kind of on a scouting mission, so more I can learn, the better. So, Mr. Freely?
Well, if learning's what you want, he's the one to talk to. He's pretty smart, eh?
That's good.
And so is his wife.
Man, those beasts of burden are fast. It's like we got here in like minutes. Yes, Callie, yes.
It's been 4 hours.
Oh,
Just kidding. It's been like 40 minutes.
Oh, Millie. Yeah, Callie, if I could just give you just one little word of advice, like one little skosh of guidance. Like, come in. And I whisper to her, I'm like, a lot of people don't like people from the Underdark, so if you tell them you're here to gather information for the Underdark, they might frown upon that.
All right. Well, I can keep that to myself, but
I mean, hey, I just got here. I don't even know where I am. However, I've been a lot of places, and that's one of those things that tends to be true.
I mean, there's a lot of scary stuff down there, that's for sure, but I'm not one of the scary things unless I need to be.
Well, same. There's scary stuff up here, and I hop down, and I'm like, who are we supposed to go talk to?
The council. They're right up the stairs. They'll be waiting for you.
Callie, and I offer to help you down because I didn't see you get up, so I don't know how good you are.
For the propriety of it, I will take his hand and hop on down. But Freely, you probably noticed that, yeah, she moves with a lot of grace and dexterity. So
most impressive. After you, good construct. Wait, what is the right way? Is there Mr., Mrs., Mix? Both, neither? I just want to make sure we get that out there so I can like respect you.
Well, I usually go by she because the name that I picked, because Callie makes the most sense. When my dad gave me a list of names to pick from, that was the one that I really liked.
I mean, you've got excellent taste. And Millie, thank you. If you have need of a hero, I am in your debt.
If you break any laws, I'll be breaking your knees. And she like does a little curtsy.
Yeah. He's like, I will be careful.
I'll be here to stab anybody if they need.
Oh, and I pop the sword out of my metallic hand. Shing! Wow, are we fighting? We do the wait.
I create the dagger in my hand. I'm like, well, if you really want to, but
no.
Hey, there'll be no fighting here.
Where are you storing those? How did you?
I don't store it. I just create it. It's an ionic creation out of my mind that I use after I put forth some of my own energy into the... No, you're not familiar with this at all? And I'll let it go away.
iodine creation. No, I put that on cuts and it hurts so bad. Oh, how are you making knives out of that?
Psychic. Out of
Millie gently puts like a hand on Callie's shoulder and another hand on Freely's, and she says, "Maybe I should escort you in.
Okay.
No, I think we're just
If you're going to get
comparing-
into the knife fight on the steps."
No.
Make sure.
No, we're discussing things. Did you know that she could just like magic knives? And I am walking. by the
No
way,
magic knives in the council chamber.
That's good information to know. Thank you very much. Unless I am attacked, there will be
Right.
no psychic knives. It's a manifestation of the powers that are coming out of my mind. That's very important.
I promise I will almost certainly not stab anyone I find in that building. Yes.
There was a lot of qualifiers on that statement.
I like to speak with precision.
I can respect that. And Callie will start to walk on in.
Yeah, they head on in. Yeah.
As you walk up, she says it one more time. No magic knives. And she like gets back on her cart.
Freely, you'll hear me under my breath say, there will be no magic knives. I thought I told you there were psychic knives. There's a big difference.
Well, then that means if you pull a knife out, you didn't technically disobey.
That's true, but I understand that she's just talking about the letter. Or it's the spirit of the thing, but I'm still offended that she didn't take my notes. I've worked very hard at this.
When we're halfway through the hallway and I feel like we're kind of alone, I'm like,
Hey, okay, so I realize you and I just met, but we're the outsiders here, so let's like try and like watch each other's backs, okay?
Well, sure. Are we afraid that we're actually going to have to pull knives in here? Because I got the sense that this was like the ruling, the people who are in charge of this town. And I really would rather not show up to the first town on the surface that I've ever come across and then murder people unless I'm absolutely necessary.
No, I'm not saying murder anybody. I'm just saying I was kind of in this situation recently and it went poorly abruptly. So let's just kind of resolve to look out for each other, okay? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. No, it's fine. No, look at this place. Everybody's happy. It smells weird, but everybody's happy. It's a new day. Okay, let's go. And then I do keep going forward.
Does everybody who falls out of the sky, are they always this nervous?
I mean, maybe. I actually haven't met anybody else that fell out of the sky. So,
Okay, fair enough.
As you walk forward through it's not that long of a hallway, and make your way to the end of it, you enter a large circular room. There is a large table in the middle of it that is also circular and is covered in furs. And seated around it, in total, are 7 members. And Freely, you recognize one of them.
Avren?
What?
I walk towards him like I'm gonna hug him.
Oh my God, Avren!
No, I don't think. Nope. How you doing, Freely? Why do you smell of radishes so much right now? I'm confused. Also, why do you have radishes on your shoes?
When I get close enough, I
And
punch
what's
him
up with Farmer Construct over there?
I punch him as hard as I can with my mechanical hand, and I try and smite him, but it doesn't go off. I'm like, oh.
When he does that, I manifest my knife and I immediately move to get into flanking. And I'm like, well, that happened very fast. I don't know why, but here we go. And both of my knives are out.
Okay,
Avren.
here we go then. And then like all this armor just kind of shifts and morphs over me, and 2 of my gauntlets just start glowing and humming for a second. I'm like, how about everyone calms down? I know you're very angry. You seem very angry. Freely. You have a very angry face. This is not a good time to be angry. I believe that you actually owe me a debt, and I'm collecting the debt right now. Aren't you having so much fun? You've clearly investigated our wonderful cash crop of radishes, and now you've met this lovely construct. And look at this. We're meeting again, and we're hanging out. It's great. It's good. It's like friends just having a good time.
When I see his armor come up and I see her get ready, I do sort of like hold my hand up to Callie, and I'm like, hang on. I know this guy. Wait, are you telling me that my debt when I was like, I'll do anything if you save my friends, was to come here and work for you? That's what the debt was?
No, your debt to me is that you have to actually farm radishes for the rest of your life. Are you okay with that? A little bit of warlock power, then farming radishes for the rest of your existence? That seems fair, right?
Oh, can I still like adventure on the weekends? I mean, I did
No,
say-
Radishes 24/7 actually.
You
To
hear
be honest,
a
though,
goblin pipe up from one of the seats at the corner. He's small and has like a big top knot and big like mutton chops on either side. And he's actually dressed very finely. And you hear him like croak up and say, "What's all this ruckus? Sophius, you're good at keeping the peace. Can you get these heathens to shut up for a moment so we can figure out who these outsiders are?"
Oh, yes, of course. Avren, I told you, you should not be interfering with people's lives so much.
Sophius, when I met you, you were a tree.
Really? I have heard so much about you. Is it okay if I give you a hug?
Wait, are you gonna try and hug me like I just hugged him? Because I'm like,
No, not quite in the same way.
yes. he does like turn his head, but it's like, yes.
Kind of an awkward pat hug.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, wait, Avren, if she's here, is Alindra here?
no, she's not here.
No, sadly, no.
And I don't ever talk about you, by the way. I mean, no offense, you're a lovely person, but like,
no,
why would I talk about
clearly you have. Why does she know me?
Oh,
if you
that's
don't
right.
talk
I was
about
talking
me?
about
Like,
this very tiny
right.
halfling that has a giant ego the size
Oh
of
no,
a planet.
she knew my name. So yeah, apparently my deeds precede me. Hello, Sophius. It is nice to actually meet you properly when you're not a tree.
I was a tree. Interesting.
It's a
Well, it
beautiful
is so lovely to see you. In good health, you feel good, yes?
No, I feel awful and like I feel so weak and flimsy and my powers aren't working. Did you take my powers away,
Me,
Avren?
no, I would. Oh, Avren.
Oh yeah,
Did you take his
didn't.
powers away?
Things are a bit complex here. Actually, to be completely honest, bit of a situation for this town. This town needs heroes, and I figured we might assemble some heroes to help them with their current plight. There are rumors, and it could be entirely untrue, that some kind of sea dragon of some kind. And so I told the council here that I would find a hero. And then when I couldn't find that, I actually decided to call an R marker on you and bring you in so that you could fight said sea dragon.
You hear a snort, and there's a tall, haughty half elf who's like wearing leather armor and a sword on his back. And he says, "Those are rumors. We don't need this guy's help. Look what happened. We allow one person into our city, and now there's 4 of them." And you hear someone else from over on the other side of the table, a half orc with her hair pulled into a very long French braid over her shoulder, really high cheekbones. And she says, "It's not our place to turn outsiders from our borders. Everyone's welcome into the city." And you hear like some murmurs flitter around the table.
I do. It's like after a second, he sort of like realizes what's going on and like collects himself a little bit. And I look at Callie and I'm like, Callie, Avren and I go way back and apparently have a great deal to discuss. This is his wife, Sofieus. Callie, who is also new in town. Callie, I don't know where I am, why they're here, or who these people are, but apparently they want us to kill a dragon, and now you know what I know.
There is no dragon.
Yeah, people always say that, and then the dragon shows up. It's like, blah, 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 blah.
Typically, that's how these things tend to go. Callie, it's very nice to meet you. I very much enjoy the fact that you are made entirely of metal and wood.
So do I. I'll let my dad know that he appreciates the handiwork.
Yeah, I would actually quite like to meet your father, by the way. And he shakes your hand with this mechanical red right hand.
Yeah, she'll go on and shake all of your hands and say, "Oh, okay, well, I seem to have come in the middle of a family reunion, but I am interested in picking up some work and picking up some information. So if you do need something, I am willing to barter for my services."
Absolutely. Oh, that reminds me, Freely, I never told you. You are Sophius is
father?
my son.
No, nope. I know that gag. You're not gonna get me a fifth time with that one, Avren.
I mean, it could be true, right?
well, I mean, we do have the same colored hair, Sophius. That is true. But no, and I would have gotten mom's good looks, but no, still, no, don't believe it. Nope.
The half-orc chuckles.
Avren, if you're going to tell somebody that they are our child, you need to inform me.
Well, I mean, I try my best. This is Callie.
I'm
This is
not
my
sure
lovely wife,
this is the
Sophius.
most appropriate forum for you to be talking about your exploits, Avren.
I only have one exploit in particular.
Exactly.
So, yeah, my wife. So, yeah, Callie, my wife, Sophius. She makes.
Hello, Callie. It is so nice to meet you. She grabs her hand to shake it and she inspects it. So interesting. Are you a robot?
I'm a construct, yes.
Oh. And you think for yourself?
Of course, don't you?
You are not a mech that somebody wears, but you have a brain?
Yes. I wouldn't be
Oh.
able to do the things that I do if I did not.
Fascinating. You will be welcome in our town.
She can summon knives.
Thank you very much.
You say
And I'm still waiting to find out, you were looking to dispose of a dragon, and I was waiting to hear about
There
details.
is
And
no dragon. The dragon does not exist.
I'm sorry, I forget your name again. Yeah, I don't remember if you're being haughty or hot or like I don't know what's happening with you. What's your name again?
Garrosh.
Garrosh. And why do you think there isn't a dragon? Why would people lie about such a thing?
Because it allows them to, I don't know, rest 2 seats on our council. And he looks over at the half-orc. She says, they were voted upon by the village members. It's not as though I handed them the 2 council seats. And then you hear the goblin pipe up again, and he says, you're just angry because before you and your brother had the majority, and now there's 2 votes to oppose yours. And then, very quietly, you notice a very slight other half-elf who looks very scholarly. He's kind of like thin, squirrely, and has glasses on, kind of like speak up and say, oh, come now. Should we really fight in front of our newcomers? Is this really the type of impression we want to make? Let's introduce ourselves. And he says, my name is Godfrey, and this is my brother, Garrosh. And he motions to the very surly man in the leathers. Over off on the other side of the table, the half-orc says, my name is Shuksena. And then the goblin pops up and says, Sal. Together, we form the council of this city, along with Avren and his wonderful wife, Sofieus, who are our newest additions.
well, it was very nice to meet all of you. Sorry about the display, I guess, from before. I wasn't quite expecting that to happen. So, if there isn't a dragon, then
There is a dragon. And you hear the other gentleman snort again. There is no dragon.
When I was growing up, there was this show I used to watch. There was a group of gnomes and their crime-fighting displacer beast. It was great, and they'd go there, and like somebody would be faking like there was a monster, and it turns out it was like just a person. So you can save us some time. And was it really you the entire time, Garrosh?
Oh, God, I
Garrosh
think I
says-
actually watched that show.
Yeah, right.
Garrosh says, it wasn't me, but I wouldn't be surprised, is what I'm saying.
Well, if
If it was a person, that is.
if Garrosh, someone were tricking this entire town, and it isn't Avren, he's tricky, but this doesn't really seem like his style. If someone was tricking this entire town, who do you think it would be? And I'll go ask him about it.
When you ask this, the entire table of 5 members, other than Avren and Sophia's, erupts. People start yelling at each other and say, you hear Sal say, well, it's you. It's got to be you. And then you hear the half-orc say, I actually think there is a dragon. Prophecy says, and then you hear the slight squirrely guy that everyone's talking over be like, I don't really know if prophecy, I don't think we should base all of our decision making on very old texts. And his brother says, you are idiots. You're all idiots. You really think there's a dragon? And they all just start arguing amongst each other.
Let me ask one. If there's 5 of them, I missed a name. I got Garush, Godfrey, Chucksana, Sal, and who did I miss?
Wait. I missed one. Manfred.
Perfect.
Oh,
And,
that's my favorite. That's my favorite friend, Manfred.
and
Manfred
Manfred's
actually stands by the door. That's
Man-
why he's the captain of the guard.
That's why I like Manfred.
he's is he a human or something else? Like just
He is a half orc, but you wouldn't be able to tell from all his armor because he hasn't quite grown into it yet.
Oh,
He has a voice that cracks because he's just kind of going through a transitional period in his life. He's very
Girls.
tall, he's very skinny, and his armor doesn't fit quite right.
Girl, same.
the one that mentioned the prophecy. I'd like to look at them, and I'm like,
Okay, so hear me out. Here's something that Avren knows is true, even though he may not admit it. I'm just lucky and I end up where I'm supposed to be, okay? And I literally fell out of the sky here. So, like, what is your prophecy? Because chances are incredibly high that you might be onto something.
Technically, then I am the arbiter of prophecy since I brought you here in the first place to collect a debt. So, yeah. Anyways.
You're welcome. So
You're welcome, actually. Yeah,
Wait,
you're welcome. See?
okay, hey, you said you needed a hero. I am here. It is fine. I promise not to hit you again today. But what is
Not
this
today?
prophecy?
The half orc Shaksena kind of like closes a text she's reading and making notes in and says, "The prophecy is not exactly of your concern at this time, as the council has not yet decided on how to act on it. Today we are meeting to discuss the loss of one of our caravans." And you hear Sal from the other side of the table, the little mutton chopped goblin, say, "Yeah, so we trade with the nearby city. We make silver here. I feel like if for nothing else, maybe we can send you to figure out what happened to our caravan. It was on its way to the nearby port to trade, and it never made it."
Hmm.
Well, I'm more than happy to take on this assignment. How much are you paying and what are you offering?
He thinks for a moment. "Well, seeing as how I'm the purse strings of this operation, I guess that falls to me." He does some math in his head. 25 silver and room and board.
So this entire time I've been like watching this display and just kind of reading the room and all of these people. Do I get a sense that he's trying to lowball me, or does this sound like a reasonable amount?
Let's get a roll for it.
Okay.
I would also like to roll.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do like your perception,
Okay.
like your wisdom.
I was afraid you were going to say insight.
Yeah, that works.
That's a 16 from me.
Either way, that's a big old 3. So Freely's convinced.
Avren doesn't care.
You get the idea, Callie, that Sal is lowballing you, but you also get the idea that bargaining with him will be difficult.
Okay. And he said 25 silver and room and board?
25 silver, room and board.
For each
If
of us?
kind of iffy on the board, maybe just breakfast.
Well, it doesn't make any sense to just get breakfast. I don't need to eat anything, so I'd rather have a place to.
Well, I don't
actually-
care what you do with it.
Yeah, well, I do, and I'm the one that's going to be taking on this job. So you said 25 silver and a place to rest for
Yes.
each of us?
Well, Avren and Sofieus already have lodgings. We'll send them with you to keep an eye on you, but for you and the halfling, yeah.
Sophias, how do you feel about this? Should we be going on this adventure?
You should be. You're the newest members of our council. You 100% should be. And at this, the table erupts into argument again. Well, I don't know why they shouldn't be. Just because they're the newest members does not make them equal members. Well, I don't know. There should be some sort of established hierarchy. Last week, there wasn't even a council.
Sorry, I
yeah.
do believe I can speak for myself, and I think it is fine to go on this adventure. These are our new friends. I plan on helping them in any way we can.
She's quite literally my better half, because otherwise I'd just be stabbing people all the time. So
It is true.
yeah.
I've stopped many a stabbing.
that's fair.
I've healed many a stabbing. I don't want to do it today.
Also accurate.
Well, maybe you shouldn't come with us if you don't intend to, because he's gonna. If we.
I don't think it'll come to that. Anything could have happened to the caravan, says the half-orc. For all we know, the bridge went out. We've had complaints for weeks that there's a few beams loose in it. Maybe they were merely stopped on the way.
How long have they been gone? Or when should they have returned?
They should have returned about 20 hours ago.
Do you have a map of this area?
We can have someone provide you with directions.
Hey.
Either way, I do not believe it is the place of this council to force people to do things that they necessarily don't want to do. Well, we're not exactly forcing them, we're paying them. And you hear them erupt into like a cacophony again.
Everyone calm down, calm down.
Upon such a rate?
No,
It's all right. It's all right. I think everyone here is very interested in going and checking out what happened to this caravan. And, well, you would be the first council not to try to force someone to do anything, or an HOA, or anything else, any other
We have to
weird, loose
respect people's
conglomeration.
agency. We can't just force people to do things because we're voted democratically to hold some sort of weird office and some sort of weird council.
This is the weirdest world I have ever been to in my entire life. I cannot believe it. Okay, right. So you see what I'm saying, Freely? They need help because of I don't want to seem naive.
Yes, you all need help. We
We could always hire somebody else, but we're asking you because they're here and it's convenient.
I assure you there was nothing convenient about my path getting here, but I'm here now and I'm ready to help. So yes, sure.
Speaking of, and you notice him take out like a really long scroll of paper. We have to pay for Millie's fees. She also gets paid off this. That comes out of your wallet. And you hear them start discussing like paperwork again. We really should set aside some funding for discretionary purposes. I don't see quite why we need all of that red tape. Personally, I think we need less red tape.
I gently try.
I should go with them.
You know, a king wouldn't be the worst idea, or a queen. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Now, Avren.
It would, if it got rid of this waste of time, I would be more than happy to do it.
Freely turns to go. I do gently try and take Callie's hand when I leave, but I don't like yank if she stands still. Otherwise, I'm like, all right, time to go to work. And I turn in.
And now you see the guard at the door raise his hand. And he says, "We should do that thing. We should take a vote."
Yes, vote. I believe a vote would be good.
Yep,
Oh.
sure, fine. Good.
Stop before I let Freely pull me away and go, well, we should wait. I also need to find out where my lodging is going to be.
Well, it'll be at my tavern, says Sal.
And the name of your tavern?
Oh, just a second, I have it written down.
Let me guess. Sal's.
Sal's.
Oh, it's actually kind of cute.
It's on brand, so I would be okay with that.
The nightcap. It's called the nightcap.
Oh, dang it. I don't know. God, that's twice I'm jealous today. That is a solid name.
I know. You've been around me. Of course, you can feel jealous a lot, buddy.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice little spot. It's not nothing too fancy, but it's the only tavern in town. It's probably the only choice you got. Unless you want to stay with Millie in her barn.
Well, I don't require much. I don't really eat and I don't really sleep. I just require a place that has some safety involved. And also, it's part of the payment. And so I was going to insist upon it. Are you going to be paying half now and half on delivery of your information?
He thinks for a moment.
She's very shrewd for a construct.
No one ever told me we were supposed to be getting paid for the adventures we went on, Avren.
I'll do
I get your
12 silver advance, just because it divides evenly among you all.
Wait, no, you meant 25 like total, not 25 each?
No, I asked, and he said it was 25 each. So 25 for me and 25 for you. I was just asking about my part of the funds.
No, I was with that part, but then he's like, the 12 will divide evenly amongst everybody, and it does not, sir. It does not.
He has like a crooked look on his face, and he says, all right, but I still don't think Avren and Sofieus should get paid, given that they're officials of the council. Well, just because they're officials of the council does not mean that they're not doing some extra legwork that should have some compensation involved. I say we pay them.
I'm right here.
I can verify that Avren is very useless, but Sofieus should not be unduly punished
for his lackadaisical nature. Yes, please. Sorry, I did not
That's
mean
fair
to-
enough. Yeah,
I
Sophius is
completely
very valuable in a way
agree.
that I will never be. So
A vote then. All in favor of sending these four to look into the matter of our missing caravan? Aye. Shaxena puts her hand up with you. The squirrely boy says, "You don't get a vote, halfling," and
Yeah.
like kind of also raises his hand. And Garrosh abstains. And then after some times, he says, "Very amusing. This order passes. Go and do your bidding, I suppose."
I love that you just pulled a gavel out of nowhere. That's
Did you
that's
just
my
have
favorite.
a gavel?
That's amazing.
I kind of always have one, but yeah.
No,
I mean,
want a
I always
gavel.
have this. I don't know why, but
I just have a very large mug.
It is self-validating, all of
we're
it.
learning a lot about each other right now.
Mhm.
Sophius, are you 100% okay with all this? Are there any potions or cupcakes or boneless chicken skinless wings that you would like to cook before we go on this adventure?
You see Sophius pull up a rolled up piece of cloth and unravel it. And within it, there are jars and utensils and a doll. A doll that looks very old and dirty. It's got little tufts of hair. It's missing its clothes. And you see her off in the distance concocting elixirs. And from the piece of cloth that she unravels, there's a coin that she flips. And you hear her say off in the distance, "This is exactly what I wanted. This is going to be a very good day." And then she pulls up her talking doll, and you hear her yelling at it. She seems like a crazy person. "I am ready."
Okay. She comes back to the group of you.
Yeah.
The council has dismissed. So I'm going to say that you're all standing at the bottom of the stairs. And while they stream down and go
Yep.
about their business for the day.
And we got our 12 silver and a description of where we're going.
Sal is counting it out right now,
Good.
begrudgingly. "Well, I guess I'll give you each 12 silver apiece. I'm not made of money, you know." And he starts counting
No,
it out.
you're made of flesh and bone, and I would not expect that from you. I would expect silver. Thank you.
Oh, some of us would say piss and vinegar. Yeah, I don't like being handed things. You can just give that to Sophius. Thank you.
"It's your money. I don't care." And he hands it to Sophius. And he says, "I don't know why you put up with him. You're prettier. You're smarter. He's weird." And he goes about his business.
He's going to turn you into a tree.
We're all a little bit weird here.
"Yeah, no denying that." And he kind of straightens out his mutton chops and goes about his business. Shaxena comes down the steps towards you all. And she says, "It's very nice of you to be doing all this."
Oh, I'm not doing it to be nice. I'm doing it for the money.
I'm doing it because you need help.
"Well, in either way, it is appreciated." And she says to Sophius, "You do so much for this town. Here." She hands you a healing potion.
"Oh, thank you so much. This is going to help so much."
"A trader came by and he happened to have one. I picked it up. Thought maybe you could use it."
"You sure this is a healing potion?"
"Reasonably sure."
I mean, if he was a traitor, then why do you think it's a healing potion? It's probably like poison. I mean, he's a traitor.
"I suppose you could be correct."
Okay, Freely, we may have hung out a little bit too much, all things considered. Sometimes there are people who you talk to that give you things and they don't lie about what they're giving you. I know this is a very foreign concept to you. Welcome to this world that we are now in.
We're going to come back to that, Avren, but do we have horses or a wagon? Which way are we walking? Which way are we?
"Sadly, you'll have to make use of your feet, but I'll instruct the guards at the east gate to give you some kind of direction."
It'll be okay, Freely. I know this is the one place that you come up a bit short, but
She like chuckles.
And
I
I hit
wasn't
him
gonna
again.
say it.
No, I punch him again.
My knives are out and I'm in flanking.
Freely,
Are we doing
freely,
this
don't
Mind your
now?
manners.
don't force me to keep you at arm's length at all times.
Freely, if we're going to get into this many fights, then we're going to have to reevaluate our very tenuous friendship, which I know just began a few hours ago.
He doesn't say anything. He just starts walking east. When she said cars to the east, he's like, walks that way.
I'll let the knives dissipate and say, can you at least tell me how far away is it from here to this bridge that you think they might have had problems at? How long are we going to have to be walking for?
About half a day. If you leave now, you could be there before nightfall.
All right. Well, I guess that's what we're doing. The halfling has already left, and certainly the sooner we do this, the sooner I get the other half of my money. And she will follow freely.
She adjusts her like bodice piece and a piece of fur she has over her shoulder and kind of gives you all like a nice little salute. Good luck. Personally, I'm pulling for you.
Thank you very much.
Nothing but faith in all of you. Also, can I get another loaf of bread when you have a chance? She says this to Sofieus.
Oh, yes, of course. I will
I
do it right
love
now.
your bread. It's so cheesy and delicious.
No, I work very hard on that bread. It is your favorite, yes?
Yes,
The
I love
cheesy
it.
bread. I will have it for you.
Thank you.
Freely does yell as he's leaving. Not as cheesy as Avren.
Sorry, I just got triggered by cheesy bread. I'm really hungry now.
That sounds really good right now.
Freely, you notice that Avren looks a lot paler, and the couple times you smacked him have actually left red marks on him. And he looks kind of frail, and as weird as he's actually wearing armor, you know, his hands shake when he walks, and he's not very steady.
As we're walking, I will talk to Freely and say, so you were surprised to see this gentleman who you say is your patron here?
Yeah. But like something's wrong. Like he's lost a step. I mean, so have I. I told you, like half the things I can do, I can't. They're not working. And I think something happened to him too. I'm not sure. And I still don't know where here is. But if these people need help, that's something that makes sense.
Well, and they're willing to pay, which is the important part. So we'll do what we can, and I guess we'll find out as we go.
Oh, you do know it's like the money's not the important part, right? Like it's the like you like doing the good deed, you know, like making a difference in the world, destroying evil.
Making a difference certainly helps, and I do usually only take jobs for, you know, good people who want to do good things. But how else are you supposed to make a living? I might have been created underground, but I know how the world works.
Well, I mean, it just works out. I just show up, I do things, and then it's just fine. And then he does look down at his hand and he's like, except when it's not fine, but it's usually fine.
And when it's not fun, what usually happens? Do you fall out of the sky onto a pile of radishes and find you don't have any powers left?
He actually stops and I turn and I look right at her and I just say, I do whatever I have to do for my friends. And then turn and keep walking.
Well, that's a noble sentiment. It's usually a little easier when you also have a little bit of money and some resources to be able to help.
You don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't need clothes. What do you need money for?
To buy supplies and to be able to buy anything that I wish. And I need repair objects, and I'm looking for stuff from my dad.
Well, when we get out of town, I'm going to have a word with Avren and I'm going to try not to hit him again. But if there's something I can help you like recover, let me know. I don't mean like liberate. I mean like actually get for you. You know, thank you for being willing to back me up there. Believe me when I tell you, he deserved those slugs. You're going to find out sooner than later. You're going to want to hit him too.
Well, I usually don't hit anybody. I'm not that strong. If I go after somebody, then I'm going to try to kill them.
Well, and then I pop the sword again. I'm like, there's a reason why I use the fist and not this thing.
I pull out my fist, which is fairly small and the fingers are long and it's more delicate than anything. And I could probably punch something and maybe only dent a few fingers. And I'll go, no, that seems very inefficient, especially for my body type. As I said, if I've learned, if you're going to go after somebody, then make it quick. And take him down.
I slowly walk by Freely while they're having this very important conversation, hand in hand with Sofieus, and I slap him in the back. I'm like, don't forget who actually built that hand. And wouldn't it be interesting to see what would happen if that hand tried to stab me?
When he slaps me on the back, I hellish rebuke him. Just level 1. Pow!
What's the saving throw?
Dex. I'm sure you beat it. It'll be just a scratch, even if it goes through. That's a big old 3 points of damage, even if you don't make this.
Yeah, I got like an 8.
Yeah.
So how much damage?
3 points.
3
Yeah.
points of damage.
When he slaps me on the back, there's just an explosion of green and red flames. Just look at him like, "Ah."
Now,
this
was that
happens as you're passing like the sort of arching gateway, and you see this like smaller dwarf like look over at you and says, "Hey, keep the peace, all right? None of that."
I am here to escort the council members.
Really, was that on purpose, or do you do that normally when somebody smacks you on the back?
Yes.
It's
That's
very
good.
important to know that also Freely, when he bows, it's so much better than anyone else because he is already so very low to the ground.
When you when Freely like bows
all
up to the
inside.
council member thing, the dwarf kind of starts to bow too, and he's like, y'all need directions.
Yes, please. The more information we can gather, the better, actually. I would like to get this done as quickly as possible because apparently my companions are going to kill themselves or each other the longer it takes.
Yeah, don't do that. Not
No,
around here.
No.
Not
Want him to live.
on my
watch.
Yeah. And he like walks over to Callie, puts like a arm around her as best he can.
Rather familiar, aren't we? Didn't we just meet?
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go straight. You're gonna reach a fork in the road. You came down the one that was left. This time, you're gonna go the way that is right. And he looks over, and now you notice there's another guard standing there, a half elf with her face in her hands. Just keep going straight until you reach the fork, then go right. It's maybe 6 miles down the road. That's where the bridge is. Stop drinking on the job, Rodney. I like you too, Erica.
Why do I feel like I've arrived in the middle of a soap opera?
With
No,
him,
just small time life.
everything's a soap opera.
It's very dramatic, yes.
With all of you, it seems to be. There's a lot of high emotions going on the surface here.
Well,
Do
you
none
were
of
the
you
ones
get
who
along?
were talking about killing each other and setting each other on fire in the middle of town.
No, that's just how we
That's
show.
easily an infraction against article number, and she pulls out like a small notebook from her pocket.
Oh, God,
Articles
here we go.
7A, 7C, and 81B.
But
If
these
if you direct your attention to 81B, it clearly says no firework displays shall be carried out during daylight hours without city sanction. I'm going to count whatever display I saw back there as some sort of firework display. Clearly, that is against the rules.
I had permission from 2 members of the council.
And you are on council business, and it is for that reason that I am looking the other way, but I will be writing this down, and it will be going on your permanent record.
Well, then I won't be filing a complaint against Rodney for gross dereliction of duty and you letting it happen.
And I turn and walk away.
You see her like just hit Rodney on the helmet, like really hard. You're gonna get us both in trouble. Oh, and you see her like scribbling furiously as you walk through the gates.
It's like I'm a god again. That's what I like about this town. Sofieus, are you ready?
Yes, thank you very much for the directions, you two. And she throws a healing potion at Avren. Already. I've
No,
I've
fine.
only got 2 of these.
That's fine. I wanted to trim the beard anyways, and tan, and also singe. So that's great. It's like I just been to a really hot meal. Okay, let's go. Let's go be
Well,
heroes.
you look kind of strange with only half a beard, so please do drink up.
I think I might stick with it. I think it's a good look for me.
Callie produces one of her knives and says, I am very good at doing a little bit of trimming if you need.
No,
Me
no, 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 no.
too.
It is not necessary, please.
Article 12:1a clearly states, thou shalt not undertake any personal grooming in public spaces, for it is considered disgusting.
It is
And you
okay. We
hear-
will do it in private. No worries.
You hear
Okay,
Rodney pipe up? Wait, guys.
Callie,
guys.
privately use your psychic knife to shave the rest of my beard, because we can't be public.
Avren, listen.
Okay.
Bro.
And
we're
she
like,
lets the
we're like
knife
bros.
go away.
We're really close. Right? Yeah. Listen.
No, not at all. Not
Out
in
there?
any way. Yeah. Okay.
You gotta be careful. Because there's a wearadile out there.
What is a weirdial?
Is it like a sundial that bites you, and then when the sun comes out, you become a sundial? Because I've
if you-
encountered those before.
If
Yes.
you go out there if it gets dark. Just saying, there's something out there.
Well, you seem to know its name, so I would assume that you would know more than
No,
something.
I'm just saying. You're out there. Stop laughing, Avren. It happened. If you go out there
Please be a monster description in the monster manual soon.
and it gets dark, I know what I saw.
What did you see
I
so
have no
far?
idea.
Oh, well, that's unhelpful in a variety of ways.
I'm just saying, don't let it get dark. If you take off now, then you'll be fine. I know what I saw.
I appreciate that you think that we have the power to prevent it from being dark, but thank you very
Just be
much for your
careful.
very, very.
Wearadile.
It's good to know. Okay.
But he like leans up against the post and like you just see Erica next to him and she's writing down for the 77th time this week, please change my guard duty partner. And that's like the last thing you hear as you're like walking away. And you set off down the dirt path. Sure enough, you come to the fork. I'm assuming you go right.
We go right.
I make sure we go the different way because I know he's saying right, but I'm like, I don't know if he meant our right or his right. So like the opposite of the way we came
Yeah.
the first time, whatever that is, I go the
Okay.
opposite way. Yes.
Why don't you give me a survival check?
Maybe we should have asked Erica if it was right or left.
That's not terrible. It's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Okay.
Mhm.
So you realize that he was right. You're supposed to go right.
Looking now that I'm actually taking a second to survey the land, does any of this look familiar to Freely? Like any of these mountains, any landmarks, anything that he knows?
No, you've never seen anything like this peninsula in your life. And peninsula is surely what you are on, for you can see where it looks like the earth curves beyond the big blue horizon off in the distance. You're at an area with a little bit of elevation.
You know, I read about this in books, but it's definitely different to see for yourself. It's very pretty.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. You're surrounded by golden fields and you can hear the ocean noise distantly in the background, and the sun is beating down on you, but it's pleasant because there's a cool breeze.
When we are walking, I try and like pull Avren like slightly back behind Callie and Sofieus, and I'm like, Avren, where are we? How is Sofieus here? What is this?
Okay. Complicated. How do I explain this properly? So there's a bunch of me everywhere, and now that there's not. I used to be a trickster god, and now I'm not, because yeah, a lot of people are angry at me and stuff, and people like you, warlock packs, that's very draining as well. So it's like a lot of loss. Anyways, we decided to settle here in this lovely world where it's filled with wonderful people, and it's neither really here or there. I just don't want to do the whole demigod thing anymore. I'm tired. I just want to spend time with my wife. Don't
Hey,
want to be a hero.
look, I'll be hero enough for both of us, okay? I said I would do whatever it took, and if this is what it takes, fine. Here we are.
This
Okay.
is what it takes.
Let's do it. Hey,
Okay.
she's really great.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
she's really
afraid
great.
one day she will find out I am not.
Oh, she knows, man. Apparently she loves you anyway. So, ooh. Apparently this is a place of miracles. All right.
She turns around and says, I do know, and I do love him. Unconditionally.
There you have it. Okay. All right. Whew. All right. Hero time. Hero time. Hero time. And you see, he very much is like trying to convince him, like, whoa, all right, all right. Whew, hero time. Like keeps walking.
Callie turns to Sofieus
I
and
give
says,
him the help action for bravery.
I am a
Can I
halfling.
roll that?
Pre-equipped with bravery. Do not worry about me.
he's giving himself bardic inspiration.
Okay.
I didn't do good. So
I'm gonna look at Sofieus and say, so how exactly does one meet a demigod anyway? And is that a common thing? Should I be worried about that on the surface?
It is not a common thing. He is
Okay,
He is not common. We
Okay,
met a very long time ago, but you don't have to worry about him. And if you do worry about him, you let me know.
and it's already too late, to be completely honest. So
He is fairly common. I've met him like 12 times.
there were cloning mistakes.
But
Not my mistake.
do you know how many times I've killed this man? Like he was like there was like an illithid thing. Like no, it was terrible. You're not doing the illithid thing again, are you? Please tell me that's not.
No. That only a hack would do that. That's
He is
terrible.
uncommon in the way that people cannot really clone themselves.
You notice that Callie is now staring intently at Avren as we're talking about the illithid thing.
No.
Now you know why I hit him.
Listen, we all have baggage. I've got a lot. So, anyways, let's go on. We gotta help this town and be heroes. Yay, heroes! God, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
heroes,
so
heroes.
fun. People are gonna
Yeah.
give us medals and all kinds of things, and they're gonna be like, "You guys are wonderful." I've never experienced that. Let's do that thing.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna have to be a good person. You're gonna have to be a good person.
He is capable, yes.
No.
Avren.
You're gonna be a good person. You're gonna be a good person.
As you're chanting this, you hear from like over by the side of the road, keep it down, will ya? One of my beasts has already run off scared. And you see a familiar face. You see Millie
Oh, who is this?
by the side of the road, covered in mud. And you notice her cart has toppled over. One of the wheels is broken. And only Bessie number 2 is there.
Oh no!
And she looks utterly defeated. She's just sitting there on her haunches, like covered in mud, with like kind of
Aw.
a pouty look on her face. You hear
Sophius
little,
approaches
you
her
know,
and asks,
freckles on her pretty brown skin.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on the utterly defeated joke.
Utterly defeated.
The utterly
Oh.
defeated.
is everything okay? Can we help you?
Well, I mean, take a look, Sophius. Nothing's okay.
What happened?
Something came out of the woods, scared one of me beasts, and here we are.
You said the cart is toppled over in the mud and everything is all muddy?
Yeah, and one of the wheels is broken.
I would love to take a look in the mud for tracks. I
Yeah,
wanna
I'm gonna
see
make
where,
it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I want to see where the other, either where the other cow went off to, or if I could see tracks of what this thing that came out and scared them.
Okay, give me a investigation and survival check. Or survival, whichever one is better.
Okay.
Sophius, do you want to try at this as well? I'm not very good at paying attention to anything longer than 3 seconds.
You're not
And I got
you're
9.
really
Ooh.
capable of paying attention to somebody in need.
I only got a 10.
He is not. For survival, I got a 19 to track Bessie 1.
Okay. So yes, you see they miss everything and like the clatter of sort of like the the old tracks are covered by Millie's frantic pacing and stressful pacing, but you managed to pick out from underneath heavier prints and from the furry animal, and you can see where they lead off into the golden field, the wheat field.
I think she went that way. If you want us to see if I don't know if we can like find her. If you guys fix the cart, we find her. I don't know.
You'll help me?
Of course, gotta respect the law, right?
Oh, I'll have to come up with a reward for you.
Right. Just sorry. I want to track back to that. You are going to respect the law.
I'm respecting a deal that I made with a certain depowered demigod.
Okay, right. No, that checks out. Okay. Let's go find a cow.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm in a right bad way.
Yes,
you see
ma'am.
her like get up again, and she starts to like pick up, and you notice she has like bushels of carrots with like a rubber band around them. My dad told me I could just be a miner like him. He said, Millie Silverbeard, why not just come work in the mine? There's nothing wrong with wielding a pickaxe. And here I was. I said, no, there's got to be an honest living to be made out of the good old earth. And she's like picking him up and like grumbling.
I do have a question. Is there a particular food that Betsy loved most, or like a
Bessie?
scent?
Avren, you've been living in our town for how long?
Sorry, Bessie.
Oh, bad
Bessie.
person.
Is there a smell or a food that she loved?
Well, she is rather fond of Sofieus' turnovers. Those peach ones.
Sophies is what?
Turnovers?
Turnovers. Yes, of course. I will make them right away. If you think that will get your Bessie number 1 back, of course.
Well, maybe. I have no idea what spooked her. I have half a mind to think maybe that idiot at the gate was right about some type of weredile.
Did you actually see it?
No. I didn't see anything.
Well, we've already confirmed one thing then. It doesn't just come out in the middle of the night if it's the same thing. That's at least a little bit of information.
Who knows? He's a drunken idiot, ain't he? You see her like still like making stacks of like bushels of like carrots and trying to count them.
Well, I guess we'll go get the cow and we'll go get this fixed.
Well, you're on business, aren't you? Maybe you shouldn't.
No.
And big
Is this
important
what good
folk like
people-
yourselves.
Is this what good people do, Sophius? Is this the thing? Do we go after cows? I'm literally asking. I don't know.
Avren, you can sit this one out. Here are your turnovers. I hope that your Bessie 1 turns up.
Thank you, kindly. You see
Uh,
her like trying to look over the wheat fields, but she's a dwarf and she's small.
Freely, despite being small, is actually fairly strong. I want to see if I can lift the broken side of the cart up like enough to put the wheel back on.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me like a athletics check.
I mean,
Can I do the help action?
Hey.
Yeah. We can say
Okay.
that. For sure.
So is that a bonus or I roll with advantage?
I believe so. The way I usually do the help action is I allow you to add your modifier to whatever Freely rolls.
The die landed on a 20 and then did not land on 20. So it was like, yeah. Oh.
Audience sad.
What
Oh.
is, so
Jeez,
what's
tease
your
the audience that way? Jeez.
I mean, it teased me too. Now nobody's happy.
now we're all teased.
what's-
Jeez.
Action a little
what's-
bit weirdly, so I just
What's
allow
your-
people to
what's
add their
your-
modifier.
What is your modifier, Avren?
For athletics?
Yeah.
Not what you want. This is a frail, being down former demigod. You're not getting anything good.
We'll
out
say
of
like a minimum of 1.
Yeah, let's just say 1, not -1.
It's just, you're giving me the good hustle though. You're like, no, put your back into it. Like, no, tense your abs, tense your abs.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm sitting on it. Yeah.
It was a total of 13. It is a
13.
valiant, but not my best step. But he's like,
I'm gonna say you get it. It just takes you time.
Okay.
You have to like go at it from a couple of different angles before you find a good spot to get some leverage,
Mhm.
and then you lift with your legs and not your
Mhm.
back because
No.
you have good
Mm.
lifting form.
Yep. Yeah.
And
Sit down on it. You gotta sit down on it. That's-
Millie rolls over the wheel that she's kind of like managed to somewhat get back together. She doesn't know if it'll hold, and slides it back on. And you see she's actually very talented with like a hammer and nails, and she gets it secured as best she can.
I go to cast mending and then realize I can't, and don't know why. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. I just.
Are
Well,
you
this
still
is-
having your man problem?
I'm still tired. Okay.
Right. That's fine.
I've heard that before. And she like laughs as she's like trying to fix the wheel.
Relax.
Well, this-
Freely, we all always understand. It only happens half the time with you.
While this is all going on, as soon as I see the tracks, like Freely has pointed out where the tracks where the cow has gone off to, I follow the tracks. I'm gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Are there any other tracks?
Not that you see.
Don't like that.
I'm looking for a cow. Freely pointed out tracks, went off in this direction. I'm looking for
Give
Bessie.
me a perception check.
Sure.
As you like wade out, you follow the tracks into this like tall ocean of wheat.
18.
18. So you actually, as you're walking, you hear, like you just can hear a unnatural rustle. And you look over and you see a disturbance in the wheat. It's tall, so you can't really tell what's happening over there, but you see something happening up ahead.
My knives are out, and I would like to duck down into the grass and hide.
Okay.
Phew, gone.
Mm-hmm. You,
I'm just going to wait.
yeah. As you sit there and wait, you hear, sure enough, labored breathing.
All right. Is this the labored breathing of a cow or the labored breathing of something else?
Give me an animal handling check.
A cowodial.
Well, I might have just met cows today, but I got an 18, so now I know
Okay.
everything about cows.
Yeah, you hear this to your ear. It feels like pain, like the labored breathing one would have when they're bearing some sort of like burden.
Okay, I'd like to continue to stay hidden and sneak up like around where this sound is coming from to try to gauge what's going on.
Okay, can you give me a stealth check?
Sure.
Do we see this happening? Do we know where Callie is?
She kind of slunk off away from the party. You notice she's gone now.
Has anybody seen Callie? Where'd she go? I don't
Uh,
see her anywhere.
She went off into the tall grass.
She should not be going over there by herself.
Oh God! Is this the bit where we find her? Okay, well, let's go find her. Let's go find the robot.
And I just run off into the tall grass.
Okay.
Yeah, try and follow the tracks as best as possible into the grass. Mhm.
Following her isn't difficult because now there's like a path that she's kind of like pushed through the wheat. From the point where she kind of like stealthed, it might be more difficult to figure out where she went. What was your roll, Kelly?
I got 17.
17.
Dang.
Good. So you manage to come up and you find like this area where there's clearly been like some sort of struggle and a lot of the wheat is like flattened down. And you manage to sneak up on Bessie, who is nursing a injured leg. If you notice that she kind of gets her hackles up at the briefest sign of anything, but then like calms down again. She's just breathing very labored and like making like small sounds of pain and discomfort, but she doesn't know you're there.
And there's nothing else around?
No, not that you can see.
Okay. And do I see these other people that I've just met?
Yeah, we could say that they've come. They might spook the animal. So if you want to do something before that happens, you can. I will allow you to do that.
I do. So I'm going to activate my telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I can see them, I got to roll a dice to see how many people I can do this for. So I can do this for I can only do the 3. Actually, no, I've got everybody. I'm like, I can do this for 3 people. Oh no, wait, there's 3 people. So as an action, I can basically, as soon as I see them for an hour, we all have telepathic communication for up to a mile. So as soon as I see them, I activate this. And so in your head, the 3 of you just hear me talking. And I say, well, I found the cow. She seems to be injured, but she's a little spooked. So you're probably going to want to come very, very quietly.
Okay, that's
What
not
just
weird
I can help
happened?
with
all.
I can help with that. No.
I think that is
no one
Kelly.
else freaked out.
No, this happens all the time. This is like how Alindra would always talk to us.
Yeah, but she's a construct, and now we're all talking together in our
Have you all
brains.
experienced this before?
Yeah.
This is very strange.
It's like it's very efficient though.
Yes, it's very efficient, but I guess I will approach with caution.
Wait,
Now that I've given you a
even have
moment,
an accent when you think? That's weird.
Of
Do I
course, I
have
have an accent when I think.
It's not an accent. You have an accent. I don't know what you're saying right now half the time.
now that you've all gotten over,
You understand this, don't you? The
Are
ancestral
you
halfling
making a
gesture.
gesture in my brain?
Sorry, go ahead, Kelly.
Wait, we can only hear her. We can't hear each other.
hold on, wait. Let me double check because this is
Right.
all changed. You use your psychic abilities to establish telepathic communication between yourself and others. Perfect for quiet. As an action, you give yourself and at least one other creature the ability to speak telepathically with each other. So I roll my dice, and for 1 hour, the chosen creatures can speak telepathically with you, and you can. Oh, actually, no. And you can
Okay,
speak
so just with you.
telepathically with them to send or receive a message. You and the other creature must be within 1 mile of each other, and we can do this for the next hour. So no, actually, none of you can speak to each other. You'd all just hear me.
Okay.
And
I'm
then
gonna
I
call you
wait.
Zoom.
You could
I-
talk back though, if you
Yeah, you
wanted
can
to.
talk back, and so I wait for all of you to have that moment of what's going on. I don't understand, and I just patiently wait, and I go,
Fair.
okay, yes, so I'm speaking to you telepathically. I figured you would have figured that out. So yes, I'm over here, and I will give directions to where I am, and I will say, please come softly, because I got the cow here, and she seems to be injured, but I don't know what's caused this injury, and I'm worried about there being more creatures around.
Okay,
can
I'm
help.
gonna
course.
stealth over.
Yeah, I also will stealth over.
Same.
Okay. Can I get 3 stealth checks from all of you? We'll take the second highest as the roll for your entire group.
That's a big old 24.
Oh, very nice.
18.
Okay.
Not good.
Well, you only if you rolled less than an 18, we'll go with
Yeah.
the 18 as your group's.
Exactly. Yeah. It's,
I
yeah,
see.
it's embarrassing.
She's been covering for you this entire time, Avren.
So with an 18, you managed to meet Callie, and you're all standing pretty close to this injured beast that is like very frightened and very injured.
Hold on, wait. I can handle this. Wait, you guys, let me do this. And I sort of get a little closer and I cast Animal Friendship.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So what does
theoretically,
this look like when it happens?
I'm like,
Activate it.
Hey, Bessie. And I pull out a radish that I grabbed off the cart. And I'm like, hey. Shh. Ooh, what happened to your leg there? Oh, that looks painful. Come here, girl.
She immediately, or he, it's a boy. He
Hey,
immediately.
Whoever Bessie identifies with
Yeah.
is valid.
two bulls named Bessie 1 and Bessie 2. Bessie kind of like calms down, and you notice he like nuzzles your hand and like kind of licks it a little bit, and immediately like kind of
Right, you big old boy.
gets
Who
his
did-
hackles down, and you get the sense it's not gonna ram you or gore you.
I do try and inspect the wound and see if it's like in a creature I recognize. Like, does it look like wolf's jaws? Does it look like a sword? Like,
Mhm.
do I get anything from whatever's happened to it?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Sophius, do you have anything like an elixir that you can put on the cow?
I have something better than that. And she stands back very carefully and holds her hand up. And she says, Sanitatum. And she heals Bessie 1 for 5 hit points.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and let Freely inspect the wound before you heal.
Sure.
That was a big old 14.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take more than a 14 to figure out like this is like the leg is mangled and there's pieces of it that are missing. This doesn't look like a clean cut.
I recount that to Callie just so I don't like yell it out. I mentally recount it to Callie.
I'll pass it along to the other two, and then I will start to scan the area for whatever caused this.
And as the wound kind of like stitches and knits itself back together, and the animal gets to its legs and almost is like immediately kind of raring to leave, and you notice it's still spooked. Like nostrils are still flaring and it's still stamping the ground impatiently. And it trusts you freely, implicitly, but it's like giving you that nudge of like, I want to go. I need to leave.
I actually hop on his back just because I want the higher vantage point.
Mm-hmm. He allows you.
I am gonna have him get out of here. But from up there, do I see any other disturbances in the wheat?
Give me a perception check.
That is not terrible. That is 18.
You do. Not even 100 feet from where you are, you see a large mangled beast on 4 haunches, matted fur. One eye is like scarred and muzzle covered in blood. And you just see this giant, shaggy, wolf-like creature gnawing on what you can only imagine as Bessie's leg or parts of it.
I recount that to everyone. I'm like, Bessie, that way, back towards where I know Millie is. And I'm like, 120 feet. I'm not going to blast it. I'm going to see if I can talk to it. And I jump off into the wheat that direction.
Yeah.
Freely no.
But I am like, no, it's right over there.
Nope. I run after Freely. I'm like, oh my God, stop. You're going to die in this small, tiny little town for a cow.
No, I'm going to I can make friends with that thing too. The same way I made friends with
don't think you can. I don't think you can make a friend with it.
I mean, I can blast it whenever I want it. It's like I try and talk to it first. Hey, Avren, we're trying to be good. We're good.
Freely, every day is going to be this, isn't it? It's going to be me trying to keep you alive. Every day.
On me trying to make you like decent, like just because it looks terrible doesn't mean it is terrible. Like,
oh God, it's gonna look so terrible when you half eaten.
Okay, I'll make a deal with you, and I divine sense. So for good, evil, undead constructs, fae or fiends.
Was all of that happening out loud, or were you like trying?
Well, no, it is like stage whisper. I'm like, no,
yeah, stage whisper.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought for a second you were doing this telepathically, and I was having to be translator for the two of you and
whisper yell.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, I'm not even trying to do a voice. I'm just like, well, and then Freely says that he's very upset with, that he can definitely try to divine sense. I don't know what that means.
I do to activate my divine sense.
You don't sense anything good or bad.
Yeah, see, it's just an animal, man. Come on. No, it's fine. Come on, let's go. I'll protect you, Avren.
Yeah, that's how this is going to go. It's going to be great. All right, I move with Freely.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
And
so are you going to try to sneak up on it?
Yeah, I know where it is, but it's still quietly.
I'm definitely staying
fresh roll, or we can keep your 18.
That is up to you, man.
I'm going to keep it. But
it's a good roll, so statistically speaking, we will not top it. So.
20.
Oh well, there you go.
So you, I feel
was
like
that
you should get some
20?
advantage.
That was a natural 20. I'm sorry, that's a 20 plus.
Oh, you actually rolled a 20?
So someone gets a legendary bundle in chat. They get a chance to win a legendary bundle.
There you go.
Oh my God! And let's see, what's my stealth?
I'm
technically 22.
I'm strangely impressed. That you're gliding through in that gaudy outfit. Fantastic! Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna allow Freely to have the option of keeping the roll or doing a new one because they got the vantage point advantage. So usually I try to give something a little bit extra, but I'm still gonna allow you to. It's fine because I like
Thank
it.
you.
The chat gets a free legendary bundle.
Yay!
Fate decided.
Sorry, chat. No legendary bundle for you.
No.
Keep the original roll.
We give
Jasmine
it and then
said it.
No. So you sneak up on this beast and it's distracted. It's eating this it's about to finish this nice big chunk of delicious beef tartare that it is eating.
The freshest of beef.
I do try to animal friendship it. So if it is an animal or a beast, it needs to beat a wisdom 13 or be charmed by me. This time I don't try and like speak nice to it. Just from across there, I'm like,
yeah. So what do you like? Do you say something to it? Do you try to establish like?
I'm like, okay, see, Avren, it's not always about violence. Hey. Is there any indicator if this is like a male or a female creature? Like, do I see like
genitalia,
teeth, anything, you know?
It looks like a woman to you.
I'm like, hey, you big old girl, I bet you're trying to feed some puppies out here, aren't you? Hi, hey.
And you say this, and as you cast animal friendship, you realize this animal is not intelligent enough to understand what you're saying to it. And animal friendship only works on creatures with intelligence higher of 4.
Oh, I thought it was less than 4. I thought it doesn't work on 4 or more.
If the beast's intelligent is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Oh, never mind then.
No, it could be a super genius wolf, and she's like, how did I do?
Okay, so I have to do a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, she needs to beat a 13.
I was like, maybe it's you.
So if I cast animal friendship on Freely, it would work.
Does it? You want to get stabbed?
No, it would. Yeah, no, it would fail. I got it opposite for a second.
Burn.
No, it's because it doesn't work on intelligent animals. That's
yes,
the gist of
yes,
it.
that is the thing. I was
that
like,
is charm monster.
I was like, maybe it doesn't understand what it says.
It's true. No, but it understands feelings.
Let's see what I roll.
Oh
my god!
I don't
got
understand
a dirty
feelings.
20.
Well, it's okay.
Wait. Oh, but
Dirty 20.
Dirty. No,
It's
that's
a
fine.
dirty 20, yeah, because I have a +1 and I rolled a 19.
That's nope. Okay. Well, no, but I do try. I'm like, hey, you big old girl. Hi.
So we're gonna say it's still too stupid to understand, really, like that you're trying to communicate to it. And she gets back on all haunches and like snarls. Roll for initiative.
I don't think it worked.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't think it worked? Is this not how you expected this to go?
18.
Oh my god.
19.
21.
Wait, so Sophia's 18?
Yep.
And then Freely 21.
21.
Okay.
Yep.
Kelly
19.
19. Avren
4. I'm impressive.
She's so busy sassing me, you didn't realize there was work to be done.
I was very
Just
distracted
like
by the
Avren.
sass.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done better if I really wanted to.
All right, Freely. So as soon as this thing it bristles, haunches up, and looks at you, it's still hungry, and you're the perfect size snack. You get to move first, but you also notice off in your periphery rustling from the grass around you, and you feel as though there may be more.
Okay.
Oh God.
I tried to be cool. All right, let's go. I will fairy fire.
Okay.
So it's everything, all of them within 20 feet of her have have to beat a dex 13 or be lit up by my fairy fire, and everyone will have advantage against them if they do not succeed.
Okay.
I do not need to know they are there.
What's your spell saving DC?
They need to beat a dex 13.
Dex 13. So I've got a 14, a 16, a 19, and a 9. So one of them you have advantage on.
Ha!
Yeah.
Man.
You see a faint glowing in the grass over to your right. Or I should say the wheat over to your right. And you feel like that. You get a sense of like, because it illuminates, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you see like an illumination, like a glimmer. What color do you usually illuminate them?
Greenish red, sort of
Greenish
like
red.
just like my hair.
Yeah.
It sort of scintillates green and red. And for my bonus action, I'm gonna put my Hexblade curse on this girl. I'm like, oh, I didn't want it to be like this, but okay. If you want it, we'll do it. Yep, and that is it for me.
Okay, perfect. All right. And then up next we have Callie, sorry.
The one that he has fairy fired, how far away is it from me?
From you, it's about 40 feet.
Excellent. I produce a knife and I throw it at this thing.
Okay.
Because I have advantage.
What does the knife look like? I have to know. It's so cool. The art is so cool.
So I'm still ducked down trying to stay as hidden as possible, but the knife has this faint bluish shimmer to it, and it's slightly translucent. So when she creates it and throws it all in the same action, it's more of a blur than anything. And it almost seems to disappear in the air and then just reappear in this creature because I rolled 15, 16, an 18. So I'm assuming that hits.
I'm sorry, what'd you roll?
An 18.
An 18. Just like trying to keep track here. Yes, that definitely hits.
Okay. So this knife just sinks into this creature's shoulder. And it's going to do 4, 5, 6, 7. 17 psychic damage. And then the knife disappears into a puff of smoke.
Okay. You hear a yelp. And then you just see the red glowing disappear. And it's
then
silent. That part of the grass is now like silent. You hear like a slump.
Over the telepathic communication, you all hear me say, I took care of that one. We still have at least the one or maybe a few others. And I will move a little bit closer to the one that we can very clearly see, but not within melee range. So, and that will be it.
Okay. Sophia's?
The one that we can very clearly see, I'm going to pull out a stick of butter out of my satchel. And I have a staff on my back that has like a dragon's head at the end of it with its mouth open. I'm going to shove the butter inside the dragon's head and point it at the ground beneath the one that we can clearly see and cover a 10-foot square with grease.
Okay.
So it like vomits grease.
You have a dragon staff that's like, I'm like
it's like
imagining
vomiting
Inuyasha
grease
for some reason. Like, you know, the staff of, I don't know if anybody else watches that, but
see, now I just want to know, are you casting grease, but you're actually casting with butter? So now there's just butter
I am
everywhere.
casting grease, but one of the components is butter, so...
It's so Freely's just going to go and just lay and roll around in the butter puddle after this. Like, he's done fighting. He's like, ah.
Oh, man.
Okay,
Not only when we kill them, it's going to be so tasty.
all right. So when the grease appears, each creature standing in its area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. This is a 60-foot radius. So this might get Freely as well. Was that okay?
Oh.
Or are you trying to drop it in such a way that it'll catch
I was like,
her
if you drop it further back.
I would really like to just point it in a direction that will not get Freely.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
That's
okay.
okay.
I assumed.
I'm okay with it.
Except for the rolling
Of
and
course
butter
you
part.
are.
I was like, maybe that's actually.
Hey, I will die as I have lived.
Buttery.
Deep fried.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll for a dex save.
Of 12, yeah.
I have a 15. So the main like sort of matron of the pack stays on her feet, but she will have to make that save again, I think, to move. So we'll see how that goes. And then up. Okay, so after the dragon's head opens and it just vomits butter in a projectile fashion, all in this area, spraying the large wolf, she flinches, but off from the left, a wolf comes soaring out of the golden sort of like wheat. This one only manages to make it to, I'm going to say, where do you think you would all be saying? So I have it envisioned in my head as Freely in front, followed by Avren and Sofieus and Callie in the back, since Callie was trying very hard to be stealthy. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's not that intelligent, so let's go ahead. I'm just going to roll for 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2. Okay, so definitely goes for Avren.
Good.
You just see a out of the golden waves of wheat, you just see this large, furry, mangled mass fly towards you and land right where your feet are. And then from directly behind the matron, another wolf comes soaring out of the fields. This one does make it to Freely just in time. And it is going to try to bite you. 14?
That is not enough. I'm too
Okay,
fast.
so yeah, as it lunges at you And I think it also has to make a dex save to avoid falling prone now that it's in the butter. Let me see what it does for that. These wolves are kind of dexterous. 18. So
Butter
as
wolves.
it lands on all 4 feet in the butter, it slides towards you and the bite just barely misses you since the butter makes it sort of misjudge its lunge. And it kind of skitters and does that thing that dogs do on like wet tile as it tries to like regain its purchase. The matron reacts. Just want to make sure I get the grease rolls right. So enters the area or ends its turn there. So she just has to leave the butter. The matron
This
leaps
is the
out of the
best thing
butter,
ever.
licking
Butter
it off her
fight.
muzzle where it has like, basically seasoned the bite she's going to take out of Freely. She rolls a 15.
That is also not enough.
So as she gets distracted licking the butter off of her muzzle and doesn't quite manage to grab you before you spin out of the way like a delicate ballerina.
I'll just like gently push her muzzle up with my mechanical hand, like, come on, we don't want to hurt you or your babies. Stop it.
And then you just you notice like you all look towards the right and it's still because that wolf is dead. And then it's Avren's turn.
Okay, the matron, I'm gonna hit it hard.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hit it with my thunder gauntlet. My armor's on, and one of my right arm that's mechanical and red suddenly kind of erupts with kind of a weird reddish lightning. I'm gonna try to hit it right in the head.
Okay.
And please, I've been rolling bad all day. Please,
You've
16?
got normally 20 though.
Oh, that hits.
Ah,
Yeah, a 16 hits.
Something went right for me.
Hooray.
I don't know how to feel. 1d6 plus. Oh, very odd. 1d8. Okay, that's weird. 1d8 plus 2. 7 plus 2. That's 9 points of thunder damage.
Mhm.
And now that I've hit it, it has disadvantage on any attack rolls against anything other than me.
Okay.
So it wants me as a tasty, tasty treat.
All right.
Is the rule.
So it the thunder cracks and you see, the wolf not only reel, but also just kind of like blink a few times. Like it doesn't really know what happened. It looks a little stunned and dazed. And then it turns and fixates on you and snarls. And then from behind you, Callie, you suddenly feel like, a rustling and a moving. And before you know it, another wolf takes a leap at you. This one rolls those are the wrong stats, 18.
That hits.
And then
Is she 5 feet within 5 feet of me?
No, I'm not within 5 feet of
Okay.
any of these wolves until
Okay.
this one attacked me.
And Thunderstruck is, literally Thunderstruck plays when I hit anyone. That's the new rule.
so 6 damage.
All right.
So it just clamps onto your wooden and metal leg and just tries to get in there. And you see it like shaking its head. And you feel it like trying to tug you back into the tall wheatgrass. And then it is the top of the round and it's back to Freely.
When I see the wolf is on her, she covered me and I'm going to cover her. So I'm like Eldritch Blast at the wolf that's got her.
Okay.
That is... oops, apologies, I scrolled too far. That is a 21 to hit it.
Oh, yeah, that definitely hits.
I'm like, that is 10 points.
10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you hit it, you see like the fur go flying and this thing it immediately releases Callie's leg and kind of just reels backwards. And it looks like it's barely standing.
Bonus action, I give Callie my bardic inspiration. I'm like, come on, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. That's it for me.
That's a great bardic inspiration. Callie, you hear this, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. What do you do?
So as a bonus action, I'm going to disengage from this thing and get away from it. And I would like to move to the one that's next to Freely.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
I'm going to manifest another blade and try to nail this wolf right in the back of its head.
All right.
It's going to be a 19.
That hits.
Okay. It's going to take 5, 6, 7, 12. 15 psychic damage.
Yeah. What does it look like when your blade completely shreds through this wolf?
It's super efficient. I've dodge rolled out of the way next to Freely, manifested the blade, sunk it into the right, like at the base of this thing's skull, done a little jerk, pulled it back out. And there's no blood or anything on it because it's a mental blade and it's done psychic damage.
Yeah.
And this thing drops and I look over at Freely and in your head, I say to you, because we still have the telepathic connection up, good. There's only a couple of these left. Thank you for your help. And I'm going to keep an eye out for any of the others that might come nearby. And that's it.
All right. Sophius, you see
So
this cub just go and like hit the floor. And it is your turn.
So is it dead?
There are 2 that are still up. Yeah, the one on the floor is it's knocked out. It's going to die.
Okay, so the one that's going to die, or what's the other one doing? The other one that's still standing.
So there's one that is engaged with Avren.
Okay.
And that one is still in a defensive position. You still have the matron that is engaged with Freely. And then you have in the back the one that was previously engaged with Callie, but has it looks like it's trying to back up and leave.
Okay, so the one that's trying to back up and leave, it's probably just about dead. So I'm just gonna throw my dagger at it.
Okay.
And I do 6 points of damage if it hits. 13.
The armor class is 13 for the wolf.
Okay.
Nice.
So it hits because ties are awarded to the player. So what does it look like when you're so your dagger soars through the air? What do you aim for?
I aim for the head.
It sinks right in the middle of the skull, thwomp, down on the ground. The wolf that originally was engaged with Avren, you see it see 2 of its siblings sort of hit the ground, and it disengages and attempts to run away. It moves its full movement to get back into the grass and disappear from sight. The matron holds her ground for a moment and just stands there and snarls, sort of like weighing her options, and then she takes a lunge at Avren again. Or sorry, at Freely. Or actually, no, because she fixated on Avren. No, she takes a lunge at Avren.
Okay. Our class is 17.
I got a 22.
Oof.
I cast shield.
Okay.
So 5. Am I doing math right? 22?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
an energy shield just kind of erupts from my armor for a second as she tries to bite my throat out.
Because you said your armor class was 18, right?
It's 17 plus 5.
17 plus
with
5.
shield.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, so that just meets it. So as she lunges towards you, you just see this sort of the very air kind of ripples, and she hits almost what looks like a what is it called? Like an invisible shield or something like that. I'm trying to think of that word.
Are you
pretty
force
cool.
fielding it?
Force
Are you
field.
are you a
Thank
starship?
Yeah, that's neat, man.
Yeah, and she hits it and then lands back on all 4 of her feet. And then it is Avren's turn.
Oh, I think I did get hit. I think I said that wrong though, but yeah, I'm sorry.
Did you get hit?
I think I got hit because I did my math wrong. So 17 plus 5 is
22.
22. So
Didn't I roll a 22?
It mauled me. Yeah.
I thought ties are rewarded to the player.
I mean, if you equal
Oh no,
the,
to the
yeah,
active attacker,
yeah,
right?
yeah, if
so
you
it
equal
would have
the
gone for
AC,
me.
that's it.
Yeah, well, it's totally it's up to you.
Never
I'm
mind.
happy.
You
I'm
get
happy not to
bit.
take damage.
You get bit. No, you're wrong. I
I just
forgot how
imagine, I just
attacking-
imagine Freely being like, "No, turn your head a little, turn your head a little." There
Yeah.
you go, you
That's-
got him.
that-
There.
There's
I
a li-
said the math wrong. That
There's
was
a
my
lot
fault.
of numbers in front of me, and because of that, I forgot I'm attacking, not you. So, all right.
You just been Avren.
It's all right. He deserves it.
The wolf just pulls out a little calculator for a
I
moment.
know.
Is like, well,
the
wait a
wolf's like,
second.
wait a second.
That's the
So
only time you're gonna see me be honest.
the
about
shield
anything.
goes up, and you see it like push against almost like an invisible barrier, but it's moving with momentum and it's moving with rage, and it pierces through it. Oh gosh, I'm rolling terribly. It does 7 damage to you, piercing damage, and then you need to succeed on a DC 11 strength saving throw.
Oh God. DC 11? Oh wow. Okay, that's shocking. I got an 18, so that's a 17.
Yeah. So you still take the 7 damage, but as the wolf throws the full brunt of its force against you, you manage to keep your feet and you don't fall over.
Okay, thank you.
And then with that, it's back at the top of the round. It's Freely's turn.
Did we actually miss Avren's turn? Or
Oh,
did all
wait,
that-
because
yeah.
you never went. Yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
No,
you're
that's-
right. You're 100% right. Avren.
I am just gonna cast magic missile on it. It's just I got no time for this. It's not gonna do a lot of damage. It's an automatic hit, so I'm just gonna do one. I'm just gonna shoot a little energy dart right at its head for a total of 4 points of damage.
It still is on its feet. You see it reel back and like yip as these like little lasers singe its fur and blind its one good eye. But she is still standing.
Okay.
You said 4 points of damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I accidentally took off 1 extra. And as your magic missiles singe it or whatever, you notice that like the wheat fields kind of part a little bit from behind you, and you hear this loud creaking and moaning as from within the fields you see Millie on her cart come barreling through all of you. You all manage to jump out of the way just in time, and as Millie like comes to a crunching halt, and her wonderful beasts of burden try to get their revenge at this moment. They don't, but their stamping and tramping scares the large matron away. And it's at this moment that she says to y'all, well, y'all found my beast and y'all got rid of the wearer dial. That is the wrong voice. That is not the voice she has.
She,
I don't know, I
She got
found
into
that-
the moon. She got into the
that's
moon
enough.
juice on her way
Infectious.
over
I think
here.
she
yeah,
got
no.
into Callie's voice.
That's
in
okay.
fact, what she says is, well, I didn't believe it, but it looks like y'all vanquished the wearer dial.
Well, we only managed to kill a couple of them. There's still 2 left. Should we hunt them down?
She looks around. I don't think that'll be necessary.
I'm like, good, because I do like light up with the Eldritch Blast. I'm like, I could have shot her when she was running, but that seemed unnecessary.
I don't know how I can thank you anymore, but I'll do you a good one. Why don't you hop on board and I'll help you get to where you're going?
Great. And I actually help Avren up because again, I read like he got knocked down and bitten, and I see him bleeding, and I'm like, you really are normal.
Yes, I'm not lying. I really am mortal, and I'm also really bad at math because I actually did like 9 points of damage. But you know, that's neither here nor there. because
I
there
just
are
want you
3
to
darts.
remember.
No,
want you to
I'm just
remember
having
one
trouble
thing.
with my intelligence lately. Ever
want you
since
to-
I've stopped
I just
being a
want you to-
demigod, you know, it's
To
just-
remember one thing in your
What?
darkest moment, in your
What?
greatest need,
What?
you turn to me to save you.
Oh God, that's don't bring me down.
I go
Oh
get in the
God,
cart.
I'm so sad now.
I don't know how
Flavor
I
and
can
Freely
thank
are
you
having
for
this
all your help.
conversation. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know how I can thank you for all your help.
I think you're giving us a ride. I think that's how you said you were going to repay us. I thought this was a very equitable arrangement, but thank you.
Well, most of the way. I have to get back before dark.
What were you saying,
Where were you
Sofieus?
headed?
Sophia's noticed that the bulls seem really excited to scare away these wolves, and she's talking to them and saying, well, it is such a good thing you showed up. We would not have defeated them if you had not shown up and scared them away.
They're very excited because you are very nice and you smell like apple turnovers.
I mean,
Do you
They
have that?
nuzzle you and lick your hands.
I give them an apple turnover. Here you go, girl. You deserve it. Bull, you deserve it.
And I watch in fascination as these apple turnovers are produced and eaten. I'm just like,
Just magically popping up into her hand, I assume.
Yeah.
I'm
Well-
just watching. I'm just like intent on this food that you've just created.
Oh, Callie, would you like one?
Yes, please.
Here you go. Can
I
you eat
take
them?
it? I can. I don't do anything with it. It just comes out the other end, but they're fascinating. I'm holding it. I'm just looking at it.
Well, that is yours to keep.
Well, thank you. I will probably dissect it later.
Okay. If there's any more food you ever want to dissect, you let me know.
I'm kind of interested in all of it, actually.
Okay. I will give
Y'all
you all
can
of it.
dissect whatever you like, but you have to let me know where you're going. I keep doing it. It's because of Callie. I keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it.
It
I'm so
messes me up
sorry.
all the time too.
What she doesn't know is that I've actually done the telepathic bond with her as well, and so I've just been feeding her the accent the whole time. I'm
accent the
like,
entire
"Yeah,
time."
Eventually, everybody just kind of, it's a very nice accent. I kind of like it. We actually don't exactly know where we're going. We just know we're going in this direction, looking for some a lost cart. We think that possibly they ran into trouble at the bridge, about 6 miles down.
Bridge. I can take you most of the way that way.
That would be
Take you about
good.
4 miles down the road. After that, I'll have to be making back. My beasts will need food and water.
That seems like an equitable arrangement to me. It'll give me a chance to fix my leg. And I will, holding the apple turnover in one hand, pull out some tinker's tools and get into the cart. And if we can get a short rest on the way there, I'll just roll some hit dice.
I'll lay on hands. I literally put my
We can
mechanical hand and
Do the housekeeping at the top of the next session, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You all load into the back of the cart. She gives the two Bessies a gentle sort of nudge. And she says, they always say that we shouldn't let outsiders in. But I have to say, thank you for coming through for me. I kind of thought you all were too important to maybe help small, wee farm lass like myself with such a small problem. But I have to say, I appreciate it. And as you sit in the creaking cart and roll slowly towards your next destination, that is where we will end today's session. Thank you so much for joining me for the very first episode of Silver and Steel. And to celebrate our first episode, we'll be giving away one more legendary bundle in the chat since we all rolled terribly. None of us got 20s.
One. There was one.
Sorry.
We had one.
I got one.
I told you,
And if-
my
I got
powers
one,
aren't
and then I
working.
forgot how many missiles Magic Missile had. I'm so great at this game.
If I've
It's
learned
okay.
anything,
I forgot I was attacking and then broke my accent halfway through. We're fine. It's fine. Everything's
it's fine. It's D&D. That's just what happens. It's D&D.
show up and have a good time. That's all you got to do. Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll go ahead and have everybody sign off. Let's start with you, B. Dave. Who are you? Where can people find you? What do you do?
B. Dave Walters. I guess today we're rolling the family, the Slumbering Forest, right here on D&D Beyond. Will be at 3:00 Pacific on Thursday with my own children playing with me, which is kind of
Aw.
incredible.
That's adorable.
And 5 Pacific, Dungeons and Dragons: A Dark and Wish, episode 9, I believe you will be seeing on twitch.tv/D&D and on all of the socials at B. Dave Walters. And thank you all.
What's
And
Friday?
Laura-
What's Friday?
Oh,
though?
yeah. It's Friday.
Oh, can I say Friday? Oh, okay. Also, we're doing Anarchs of New York, which is a 4-shot vampire story for Level Up Dice, where Mr. Todd Kenreck will also be joining me, playing the biggest garbage person, trash fire vampire you can imagine. That will be at 5 Pacific Friday on twitch.tv/Level Up Dice. And I know we're out of time, and I'm on 1,000 things. Just look at my Twitter; it's all written across the top.
After you watch that show, you will forget what you saw.
Oh, God. Is that a preview?
No, he's such a garbage fire. He's
Yeah, I'm a
such
garbage fire. I'm a
Yeah.
garbage person.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of not garbage people, Lauren.
Aw.
Aw.
I I try not to be garbage people. I sometimes fail. I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. You can find me on Twitter at OboLauren. You can also find me on a show tomorrow called Beyond Heroes that Todd DMs, that I play a not garbage person most of the time. Thank you. Bye.
Meagan.
I'm Meagan Kenreck. You can find me on Twitter, Meagan Kenreck, REKT, and I will be here next Tuesday at 6 p.m.
And Todd.
I'm Todd Kenreck. I can be found on this show, and I DM Beyond Heroes, and I'm married to the love of my life, who I get to finally role play with
Yay!
in a D&D game, and I'm so excited. And yeah, thank you, Jasmine, so much for running this game. This was so fun. Oh my god.
I'm glad. I feel like the first
Yeah.
episode is always the hardest because you're trying to get everything up and running. And I'm so excited for us to get into the meat and potatoes of the game. And for those of you in the audience, I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much to the wonderful people at D&D Beyond, mostly Todd Kenreck, for bringing me on board and allowing me to do this in my own homebrew world. I hope you enjoy it. I'm That Bronze Girl on Twitch and Twitter. And yeah, I'm on a lot of different things. You can check out what I do there. We'll be back next week. Yay! Time.
Yay.
Same
Can't
place.
wait.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Have a
everybody.
wonderful night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.